Iowa voters last night in television commercials. Senator Clinton's husband didn't even compete in Iowa in 1992 when he battled for the Democratic nomination. That's because the Iowa Democratic Senator Tom Harkin was running himself and ran away from the field. This time around, Harkin has held off endorsing anyone, but he's still very involved in the process. Senator Harkin joins us now from Des Moines. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it. And I got to ask you, first of all, you've been participating in these Iowa caucuses for a long time. Does this year differ from just about everything else you've seen?
It's like night and day. Like I said, Peter, I've been at every caucus since 1968. I've never seen anything like this. The amount of money, the candidate efforts here over the last year, and now the level of excitement. Plus, there's something new happening, Peter, that, well, we'll see if it pans out tonight or not, but the polls indicate that we're going to have a big influx of independents who are coming over to the Democratic caucuses tonight. How many that is, I don't know. The Des Moines Register said maybe as many as 40% would be independents. If that's the case, this will be something almost like seismic here in the state of Iowa.
Seismic in the state of Iowa. Do you think that it is a bellwether for the nation as a whole? Does it tell us more about this presidential race than perhaps it has in years past?
It could. If, like I said, I don't know. Even if 10%, let's say 10% of the Democratic caucus goers are independents, that is big. And that means, that indicates that there is a big shift from independents to the Democratic side this year. And I think that could kind of set the course for the rest of the campaign this year and perhaps even the election this November.
Senator, why did you stay on the sidelines this time around? Why did you hold off endorsing anyone? Certainly that endorsement could have been a big factor in this election.
They're all my friends. I've served. Chris Dodd is a close friend. We came to Congress together in 1974. Joe Biden, I've known since I've been there. Great friend, great family. We know each other. Bill Richardson, I've known since he worked for Hubert Humphrey. Hillary Clinton, of course. Barack, John Edwards. They're all my friends. And I just felt it would be best for me to sit on the sidelines and let Iowans make up their own minds independently as they like to do anyway.
And you're satisfied with the results here? You think Iowans have a solid choice here among the Democrats? And let me ask you as well what you think the big issue is for Iowa voters as they go to these caucuses. Is it Iraq, as Governor Richardson told us just a short time ago?
Well, Iraq certainly is a big issue, no doubt about that, among Iowa Democrats. But I also think it's health care. Keep in mind, in Iowa, we are number 50. Out of all 50 states, we are at the bottom in terms of Medicare reimbursement. And yet we have a high proportion of low-income elderly in the state of Iowa. So health care is a big, big issue in this state. Education is a big issue. And, of course, agriculture and the environment. So I think all of those are kind of like hot-button issues, and that's what people will be thinking about in the Iowa caucuses tonight. So, and one last thing I got to say, Peter, is that I'm very proud of my fellow Iowans. Now, you might expect me to say that, of course, but they take this caucus very seriously. And I want to speak here for both Republicans and Democrats. They take this very seriously. They look at the issues. They judge the candidates very carefully before they go to the caucus tonight. And I'm very proud of my fellow Iowans for how seriously they take their role in this endeavor.
Senator Harkin, as you know, there are some around the country, including some in the Senate, fellow Democrats. Carl Levin comes to mind of Michigan, who have questioned whether Iowa should continue to play this prominent role in the presidential politics in picking a president. How do you respond to the suggestion that Iowa, while these people in the state do take it very seriously, isn't truly representative of the nation? Perhaps other states should have the same opportunity in the future.
Well, I think Iowa is very representative of the nation. In many ways, we have more manufacturing jobs per capita than just about any other state. We're highly educated, highly mobile. We have both, as I said, manufacturing and agriculture. People here are concerned very deeply about the environment. So I think when you cut through all these things, Iowa, quite frankly, is really in the heart of the nation, and we do represent, I think, a very broad cross-section of the United States of America. Now, every time someone comes up, like my friend Carl Levin, and says Iowa shouldn't be first, well then, but no one's ever had anything that replaces this. The good thing about Iowa is that someone without a lot of money, but who's willing to work hard and has a good, strong message, can confound the pundits and beat the experts. And like for tonight, I would point to maybe Mike Huckabee on the Republican side might actually beat Mr. Romney? I don't know, but it's going to be very close. And Mr. Romney spent several $1 million, and I think Governor Harki spent less than $1 million. So this is still a state where someone with a message and who's willing to work hard can overcome the odds.
Do you think, can we get you to put on your prognosticator hat? Can you give us your prediction, or are you going to hold off at this point?
Well, I think it's going to be very close on the Democratic side. I see two scenarios. One in which you have Barack Obama and John Edwards and Hillary Clinton all very close. And then you have a fourth that will come in. I don't know who that's going to be. The other scenario I would see is that one of those top three actually will break away and get significantly more than the other two. Now that's the way it's going to be. I don't, right now, it's up in the air, and no one really knows.
All right, Senator Tom Harkin, we got to leave it there. We thank you for joining us this evening, and good luck with the caucuses there in Iowa. We appreciate you taking the time out. When we come